Hello everyone, thanks for joining today's Words of Wisdom. Today's is from December 26th. God is essentially light itself. God is essentially light itself. From the Science of Happiness. Thank you, Master Okawa. Alright, so this is like Happy Science is one of those biblical kind of teachings. It gets to the point, to the essence of religious teachings or the teachings of God. So Master is teaching us, it's a Kilton called The Science of Happiness, but it's been republished in this Kilton called The 10 Principles from Alcantara, Volume 1, and there's going to be Volume 2 being published soon. So God is essentially light itself. When we talk about light, we talk a lot about light, or God's light, spiritual light, higher dimensional light, here at Happy Science. What we mean by light is, of course, we don't mean these physical lights that comes from like a light bulb or like sunlight, but it's more of a spiritual energy. This light that we talk about in Happy Science is a spiritual energy, or like a creative energy with power. It's filled with many blessings, many great virtuous energy. Master has taught us that this light, to give you some example, this light is filled with courage. This light is filled with compassion, mercy, wisdom. These kind of like, they're intangible, but they're hope. These kind of like powerful energy that produces power in our lives. So this is what he means, or what we mean by light here in Happy Science. And God is essentially light itself. So God is not like a being, like a human figured being that's in the spiritual world, but that essentially he is light. Meaning, essentially, he is also love and compassion and courage and wisdom. He is, and hope. That's who he is. It's like a universal energy that allows us to continue to exist. And everything that is positive comes from God's qualities. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean that God exists in each and every one of us, flatly. We do have God's light, but each and every one of our individual souls has different level of enlightenment, and God himself is at the very top of all creations. So we're connected to him, but that doesn't necessarily mean we are God. That's something that we have to be careful about. Because we're children of God, when we change our mindsets to the right direction towards God, and then we will be able to manifest God-like qualities, but not as good as him, obviously. So this is a very important teaching for us to remain humble. Never misunderstand that we are God himself. So again, God is essentially light itself. Another way to understand this sentence is that God is always with us. Our Lord is always with us. We may feel sometimes abandoned. We may feel sometimes isolated, alone, when we're going through tough times. But that is never true. Alcantara has always loved us, is loving us, and will continue loving us 24/7. If we feel lonely, if we feel isolated, there's something blocking God's light inside our minds. So let us never misunderstand this teaching too, that God is always loving us. The light is always with us. Let me conclude today's words of wisdom by quoting today's words of wisdom. God is essentially light itself. Thank you very much. See you again tomorrow. Bye-bye.